money follows where there is a dream. It shouldn't be the other way around. You should not chase money. You should be passionate about what you do. Being passionate gives you that zeal, that drive for you to keep wanting to do whatever you're doing, be it business, be it art, be it even school. So, GLORRIANE, I want you to take us through your lowest moments in life, in your career.
Wow, you know something, Zolile, like I actually celebrate my lowest moments because they are responsible for making me who I am today. I've had more low moments than I've had success, believe it or not. So starting off, when I first went to England, I became homeless.
Okay.
So this whole story of people promising you that they will look after you, they'll stay with you. I was staying at Euston Station, begging. I'd never begged in my life. And now I actually know what it's like to beg because people judge you automatically. So that was the start of my life in England. And I don't believe that anything else can make me feel any worse than I did at the time. Away, thousands of miles away from your family, parents, everything, being homeless. I collapsed because I suffered from hypothermia because it was so cold. I ended up in a hospital and they wanted to deport me, but lucky enough I had papers to stay on a temporary visa. So it was just really a difficult time, but I picked myself up and started working. And, you know, it's something that I reflect on. I've always been passionate about looking after young people that come to England who have been lied to, because we lie to each other that things are hanky-dory. So that was one of my lowest moments. And then moving on to there, I've been involved in quite a number of businesses, and some of them have failed. So you'll find like I've had partnerships with people I believed in, we put money together, the next minute the person betrays you and stuff like that. So, you know, you can lose everything, you know. And so I'm just going to give you highlights of my different. So the other thing is I was in a relationship. So we go from business to relationships. I was expecting to be married, and then at the time when I got engaged, they found out I couldn't have children. And the gentleman I was engaged to him and his family decided to break off everything, the wedding, everything. But guess what? God is so good. Maybe it wasn't my time. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. The doctors had diagnosed that I could not have any children. And after this person dumped me, after we were engaged, I had a baby like 7 months later. I was blessed with a child, but the thing is, I kept on asking God for a child. I didn't ask God for a husband. So it's very. You should always be specific of what you ask God for. And then the highlight of my career, I actually ran for MP. But before that, I was involved in a very serious car accident, of which I lost a friend, and it got a lot of negative attention. I was accused of being a murderer, accused of so many things. I've never been able to speak openly. I know exactly what happened that day. It's a painful experience. It was a very painful experience for me. But I never ever thought I'd be able to recover from that. I was in a coma for a few days. I didn't walk for almost 3 months. And that was the biggest, in fact, that was the lowest of the lowest, was losing my friend on that day.
Before we talk about losing your friend, you said your first time in the UK, you were once homeless. I want to try and get into your mind. What was going on into your mind the days that you were sleeping in a train station in a foreign country? What gave you the zeal to say, you know what, I have to wake up tomorrow morning, I have to face another day?
So I had a return ticket. I had an open return ticket, but what kept me going is my mom was a single parent and she had worked so hard. And things at the time were really good in Zimbabwe, so it wasn't like, but I'd gone there on the premise that I was going to go to university, but things just didn't work out. And the people that had promised to look after me just didn't. So every single day I would be like, okay, maybe I should just get on a plane. But I kept on thinking, you know, how could I go back with nothing? You know, and also that thing about when you go overseas, people, you know, we live for people when we're overseas. So people will be expecting you to come back with something. But I kept on saying this would break my mom. Like, what would I go back to do? It would break. My mom is a single parent. She's worked so hard to get me here. I cannot. And one of the things is that I was actually helped by a fellow Zimbabwean nurse who actually saw me in hospital and took me to her place. And then from there, I just was able to do. So, you know, I was also helped by somebody else who just had a good heart.
So from being homeless to then become an entrepreneur recognized all over England, how was that feeling?
Success, you know, if you never fail, you'll never taste success. That's the way I look at it. I think failure actually is part of a journey of being able to experience success. And when somebody says that I'm an influential entrepreneur, it doesn't mean that I'm a millionaire. It just means that I create platforms for business. Okay, so a lot of people, when I got that award, they were thinking, my goodness, GLORRIANE, she's probably a millionaire. No, I'm not. It just means that I'm out there creating platforms and I'm involved in a lot of business projects. Okay, that's how influential I am. What I would say to people is that, one, no matter what, never give up. Number two, don't allow somebody else's opinion of you become your reality. Because once you do that, you're not going to be able to succeed. Not everyone is going to approve of what you're doing. Not everybody's going to compliment you. There's a lot of haters out there in the world, and if we actually allow them to dictate our pace, we'll not succeed. I think it's important to change the narrative. The narrative should always be, let's carry on.
So how do I change the narrative? I'm human. I live in a society with people. People are bound to people are entitled to their opinion, and not every opinion really is the truth, like you're saying.
Yeah.
But how will I brush that off my head?
I'm glad you say that we live in a society that people will judge and make opinions, but like I said, do not allow somebody else's opinion of you become your reality. You should know. You know, there's a lady called Lisa Nichols, and she says that if my star is too bright for you, then I suggest you wear some sunglasses.
Nice one. I'll have to catch you there. Oh, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Kwataba